In the frost-kissed valleys of prehistoric North America, where mammoths roamed and saber-toothed tigers prowled, the dire wolf reigned as a symbol of raw power and unyielding survival, its massive frame cutting through blizzards like a ghost in the night, jaws capable of crushing bone with the force of forgotten legends, a creature that embodied the wild heart of an era long buried under layers of time and ice. But as the world warmed and humans spread like wildfire across the lands, these majestic beasts faded into myth, their howls silenced by the relentless march of extinction, leaving behind only fossils that whispered tales of a lost world, until one fateful day in the bustling labs of Colossal Biosciences in 2024, when a team of visionary scientists, driven by a burning passion to heal the wounds of biodiversity loss, unearthed the breakthrough that would shatter the boundaries between past and present, led by the brilliant geneticist Dr. Elena Vasquez, a woman whose own life had been scarred by the loss of her childhood dog to a rare disease, fueling her relentless quest to conquer death itself through the magic of CRISPR technology. As she pored over ancient DNA samples extracted from permafrost-preserved dire wolf remains, her hands trembling with a mix of awe and determination, piecing together genetic puzzles that had eluded humanity for centuries, the lab alive with the hum of sequencers and the soft glow of computer screens displaying helical strands of life code, colleagues whispering excitedly about the ethical dilemmas that loomed like storm clouds, questions of playing God swirling in the air as Elena injected the edited embryos into surrogate grey wolves, animals chosen for their close genetic kinship to the extinct dire ones, watching with bated breath as the pregnancies took hold, the first signs of life stirring in ultrasounds that revealed tiny hearts beating in rhythm with history. But beneath the excitement lay an undercurrent of fear. For Elena knew that reviving a species wasn't just about science, it was about confronting the ghosts of environmental devastation that had claimed so many creatures, her nights haunted by dreams of packs running free once more, only to be chased by the shadows of modern threats like habitat loss and climate change. As the due dates approached in late 2024, the team gathered in sterile rooms, gloved hands ready, the air thick with anticipation and the faint scent of antiseptic, and when the first pup, Romulus, emerged with a whimper that pierced the silence, his oversized paws and robust build hinting at the ancient lineage encoded in his genes, tears streamed down Elena's face, a flood of emotions washing over her as she cradled the newborn, feeling the warmth of resurrection in her arms, a moment that blurred the lines between miracle and madness. But little did she know that this birth was just the beginning of a journey fraught with unforeseen challenges. As the world outside the lab buzzed with rumors and leaks, media outlets clamoring for the shocking truth, protesters gathering at the gates decrying the hubris of tampering with nature's graveyard, while supporters hailed it as a beacon of hope for endangered species everywhere, Elena's personal story intertwining with the pup's fate, her memories of her lost pet resurfacing in waves of grief and joy, motivating her to push forward despite the mounting pressure, the chapter unfolding like a tapestry of human ambition and natural wonder, where each genetic edit represented a step toward redemption for a planet scarred by loss, the pups growing under careful observation in an expansive enclosure mimicking ancient habitats, their playful antics, Romulus tumbling over his brother Remus in mock battle evoking a profound sense of connection to a bygone era. Yet Elena couldn't shake the nagging doubt that whispered in her mind during quiet moments, wondering if these clones were truly dire wolves or merely echoes, modified grey wolves dressed in historical fur, a debate that raged in scientific circles as publications dissected the gene editing process. Critics arguing that the 5.7 million year divergence between dire and grey wolves made pure resurrection impossible, but Elena defended her work with fiery passion, citing the 99% genetic overlap and the innovative blood cloning techniques that allowed non-invasive sampling, her voice cracking with emotion in interviews as she spoke of the pup's potential to restore ecological balance, perhaps even aiding in controlling invasive species or rebuilding vast landscapes, the narrative building tension through daily logs of the pup's development, from their first shaky steps to their inquisitive sniffs at the world around them, each milestone a testament to human ingenuity, yet laced with the bittersweet realization that true wilderness could never be fully recaptured in a lab. As 2025 dawned, the arrival of the female pup Khaleesi added a new layer of hope, her birth on January 30th marking a turning point, her sleeker form and piercing eyes promising a future pack, Elena's heart swelling with maternal pride despite the pups not being her own, the emotional core of the story pulsing through her internal monologues, reflections on how this project had healed her own wounds of loss, transforming personal tragedy into global triumph. The chapter weaving in vivid descriptions of the 800-acre reserve where the pups were relocated, vast meadows and dense forests alive with the sounds of birds and rustling leaves, a sanctuary that felt like a bridge to the Pleistocene, but hidden within this utter were hints of the shocking truth to come, subtle anomalies in the pups' behavior or aggression levels higher than expected, unusual vocalizations that didn't match fossil records, so planting seeds of doubt that would blossom in later chapters, the prose flowing in a continuous stream of engagement, drawing readers into the ethical quagmire, the joy of creation, and the fear of unintended consequences, all while building an emotional bond with Elena and the pups, making every word a step deeper into a world where science dances on the edge of the impossible. Trials of the present. As the pups matured in their protected haven, the world erupted in a storm of fascination and fury, headlines screaming dire wolves return across every screen, igniting debates that divided families at dinner tables and sparked viral threads on social media, with Elena at the center of it all, her face plastered on magazine covers as the mother of monsters, a title that stung like a betrayal, for she saw herself not as a creator of horrors but as a healer of the Earth's broken tapestry, yet the emotional toll mounted as skeptics, armed with genetic analyses, questioned the authenticity of the clones, articles from MIT Technology Review and New Scientist dissecting the process, revealing that the pups were indeed grey wolves edited with dire wolf traits, larger skulls, stronger limbs, but not pure resurrections. A revelation that hit Elena like a gut punch, her nights now filled with self-doubt, wondering if her passion had blinded her to the truth, as protesters chained themselves to the reserve's fences, chanting about the dangers of unleashing frankenmobs into ecosystems unprepared for their return, while inside, the pups faced their own trials, Romulus developing a mysterious ailment that mirrored ancient diseases preserved in DNA. Veterinarians racing against time to adapt modern medicine to prehistoric biology, Elena holding vigil by his side, her hands stroking his fur as tears fell, whispering promises of survival that echoed her own unresolved grief. The chapter delving deep into the interpersonal dynamics of the team, fractures appearing as some scientists resigned in protest, others doubled down on the project, heated arguments in conference rooms where ethics clashed with ambition. Elena's leadership tested to its limits, her emotional arc peaking in a raw confession to a colleague about how the pups had become surrogates for her lost family, the narrative pulsing with tension through real-time events like the first public unveiling, where Khaleesi's playful bound across a stage captivated audiences worldwide, only for a hacker to leak classified data exposing the genetic modifications, sparking a media frenzy that forced Colossal to defend their extinction claims. The shocking truth emerging layer by layer that while the pups carried dire wolf DNA, they were hybrids, a compromise born of scientific limitations, yet this didn't diminish their wonder for Elena, who saw in them a symbol of hope amid despair, the story enriching with subplots of global impact, conservationists praising the tech for potential applications to save rhinos and tigers, while bioethicists warned of slippery slopes toward human cloning. Emotional highs and lows weaving through descriptions of the pup's growth, Remus's bold explorations contrasting Khaleesi's cautious curiosity, each interaction a mirror to human emotions, the chapter building to a climax with a near-disastrous storm breaching the reserve's barriers, forcing Elena to venture into the night to rescue the pups, her heart pounding as lightning illuminated their frightened eyes, a moment of pure connection that reaffirmed her resolve, the prose flowing relentlessly, immersing the reader in the chaos of 2025's scientific revolution, where every breakthrough carried the weight of potential catastrophe, Elena's journey from doubt to defiance inspiring a profound empathy, the emotional stakes rising with each word until the chapter's end leaves a lingering sense of precarious balance. Echoes of the future. With the controversy reaching fever pitch, Elena stood before a global conference in mid-2025, her voice steady despite the storm within, unveiling the full truth that the pups were not flawless clones but stepping stones toward true de-extinction, a hybrid miracle that could pave the way for resurrecting purer forms. Her words laced with emotion as she shared footage of the pups thriving, their howls harmonizing in a chorus that evoked ancient packs, touching hearts in the audience and beyond. But the shocking revelation came when genetic tests confirmed unexpected mutations, adaptations to modern climates that made the pups even more resilient, turning criticism into cautious optimism. Elena's personal redemption arc culminating in a poignant moment where she released the pups into a larger wild enclosure, watching them bound away with a mix of pride and sorrow, knowing they represented humanity's chance to atone for past extinctions. The chapter exploring futuristic visions of rewilded landscapes, dire wolves roaming alongside restored megafauna, emotional threads tying back to Elena's loss, as she adopted a rescued dog inspired by the project, finding closure in the cycle of life, the narrative crescendoing with global collaboration sparked by the pups' story, governments funding similar initiatives, the pups themselves becoming ambassadors for conservation, their images on billboards urging action against climate change. Yet the emotional depth plumbed through Elena's reflections on the ethical cost, the lives altered by her choices, the chapter looping back to the initial hook as Elena, now older and wiser, holds a descendant pup in a future lab, its hull echoing the first, symbolizing eternal renewal, the story closing on a note of hopeful ambiguity, leaving readers pondering their own role in preserving the planet's legacy. Whoa. What a idea! Right back to that first howl, but now with the full circle of truth revealed. If this story moved you, give it a like to show your support, and subscribe for more epic tales of science, emotion, and the unknown. Your engagement keeps these stories coming.